Okay, Caitlin. So, next part, visual elements. And the second, employing violent consequences. It's not employing violent consequences. It's using shock tactics, isn't it? Okay, moving on. Just add in here through the creative's use of direct eye contact. The configuration certifies a positive prospect to smoking. I don't know what you mean here. What you mean is, I think, that the format and layout creates a positive, happy mood around smoking. Okay? The use of correlating color. Correlating to what? Do you mean that they are repeating or using the colors of the brand in the background in order to emphasize the image in the foreground? Or are they using color? I'm just having a look back at. Yes, so they're using the colors of the brand in the background and the text. It's also highlighted, if you see here, in her lipstick and on her hat. And then you have the brand very much highlighted. So you have that red repeated throughout the advertisement. Now this is enhancing brand awareness. Remember as well, if you had a look at the document that I put on Sector, the color red is supposed to be, has a psychological correlation with passion and energy, sometimes danger. In this case, it's obviously not danger, but this idea perhaps of passion and energy you might want to mention. Again, just use a little bit more contrasting, comparative language. So in contrast, smoking kills utilizes a cigarette as its focal point, removing the subsequent shadow and replacing that with a gun. Well, what you're saying here, Caitlin, is that the creators of the advertisement are using special effects to replace the ordinary shadow that a cigarette throws with that of a gun. And the reason they do this is to create that emotional, that shocking connection between smoking and killing. Okay? So this is written through the background as the gun foreshadows the cigarette, demonstrating the dangers which it possesses. I think we've just covered that. This is more, your understanding is very good, Caitlin, but again, the way that you are expressing yourself, particularly here, it's detracting from actually your being able to understand how well you understand what's going on. So just keep it simple. The composition ensures that negative space is prevailed. Again, what do you mean here? So the creators of the advertisement have purposefully left a lot of negative space in the advertisement. And this relative simplicity of the background not diverts attention to the tagline, but perhaps focuses attention on the slogan of the campaign, really, is smoking kills. Ensuring the negative incidence is in enhanced focus. Again, keep it simple. So keep it simple. Colour is effectively used to create a contrast between the background and the point of junction. Again, what do you mean by the point of junction? Being the cigarette. So just say that. Colour is effectively used to create a contrast between the background and the focal point of the advertisement, the cigarette. thus symbolizing the potentially fatal health implications. Yep. Language features. The advertisements use language features distinctly to make meaning. The advertisements, the copywriters use language features to convey very distinct messages. Now, when you talk about pathos and logos, we say that you use pathos, you use logos in an advertisement through the appeal to emotion. Well, what emotion? Is it attitude? Is it happiness? So appeals to the desire for happiness. Okay? However, Smoking Kills, it actually uses pathos as mainly it's pathos, isn't it? Because it's playing on the readers, on the audience's fear of a sense of fear. And it uses logos in the form of evidence and statistics to support that emotional shock tactic that it's using. And the audience is convinced, not just through logic and reason, but through the evoking of fear. Yes, the Be Happy Go Lucky advertisement uses catchy phrases, taste makes the difference and luckies taste better, to analogically associate smoking happiness and luck. Yes. Now, you say here to simplify the issue of smoking in order to imply that if purchasing cigarettes, you will be lucky, thus increasing it. Again, you're tying yourself in knots. This advertisement is not about the issue of smoking. This advertisement is about Lucky Strike cigarettes. Is that what they're called? Let me just check. Yeah. The actual brand is Lucky Strike. Make sure that you've made it clear that you understand that. It's not simplifying the issue of smoking. It's creating that emotional connection. So the mood that the language or the tone created by the use of language is colloquial, chatty, be happy, go lucky. When it talks, it's talking in a very chatty, buy the lucky carton today, exclamation mark. It's using a chatty conversational tone to create that connection between the audience and the woman that is used to represent what you could be if you smoke Lucky Strike cigarettes. Okay, so just be careful. You need to just change this up a bit. Now, Smoking Kills, it's not playing on the reader's guilt. It's playing on the reader's fear. You will die if you smoke, is basically what it's saying. And it does use statistical information to infer a negative perspective. Again, keep it simple. Use statistical information to enhance its negative image of smoking. And these are shock tactics as well. It's statistics, but they're also quite shocking statistics. Die each year. Is it formal language? The formal language. Describing the benefits of cigarettes within B. I can't read the print that small, so you just need to be careful. And also, have a look back at your visual elements examples. Is it using jargon? As in, I don't think that's on the visual elements, but it's on one of the examples attached to it, the one of the bodybuilder. Jargon. Is it using specialist language of smoking to make us believe that there's a scientific basis to cigarettes? But you'll have to double check that because I can't see. Is it describing the benefits of it's creating that emotional attachment to the brand. And what do you mean by is efficiently found through the use of related images? Not sure what you mean. It's using, describe the woman. She's an attractive, sporting, obviously, independent. Is she happy? Is she lucky? She looks it. She looks very happy and very lucky and seems to be really enjoying that cigarette. The language structure is complex. I don't think be happy-go-lucky is complex. I think it's very simple and colloquial, with short phrases that are easy to remember. Whereas smoking uses simple language assisted by evidence-based data. Okay, you need to put in some evidence here. Okay, you need to support it with evidence. And you haven't really said anything about the language of Smoking Kills, so let's have a look. Yep, it is very simple. Smoking kills, if you look at your persuasive techniques, is a short, forceful phrase, isn't it? Smoking kills. And if you look at the layout here, look where they've positioned the K of each word. They've done that for a purpose. So again, through the layout of the text, they're enhancing this connection between smoking and killing. And they just use that statistic to back it up. So you're quite right when you're saying that they are using logos, but what they're using it to do is to make this phrase smoking kills appear as fact, but it is actually trying to make us terrified. And quite rightly too, Caitlin, do not start smoking. Right, so you might be happy-go-lucky creates an acceptability to personal interests. I don't know what that means. Again, you're talking about the mood that it creates, the emotional connection that it creates between the viewer and the Lucky Strike brand of cigarettes. So does it create an emotional connection? Is it a desire for... Is it aspirational? I think it's still just happiness and attitude. You'll be lucky and you'll be happy if you smoke these. You'll have all this energy. In contrast to Smoking Kills, which depicts safety and health concerns. Well, I think here you're just saying that it's creating, playing on the audience's sense of fear through using shocking language, emotive language, Smoking Kills, and facts and statistics to back it up. Okay, conclusion. Contrasting context towards smoking are apparent by application. Again, I don't know what you mean. Just say each advertisement uses language features and persuasive language and visual features, persuasive techniques in order to fulfill their purpose. What do you mean by organised, insightful, statistical synopsis of the negative consequences associated with smoking, not to smoking? It's not to reinvigorate societal habits. It's just to stop. It's to change habits. Yep. Go Lucky does depict smoking as attractive and beneficial to an audience of predominantly females. You needed to make that clear in your target audience. And then hopefully, as you've gone back and edited and cut down a lot of what I've said, you'll now have a little bit more room here just to evaluate. So which advertisement do you think is the most effective at fulfilling its purpose? So there, you're just going to sum that up in a couple of sentences. Keep it short and keep it simple. Okay, Caitlin, I hope this has helped. Over and out.